So Redemption was the first song for the new EP. The first of the riffs started getting written back in December of 2018. Unfortunately, come January of 2019, I ended up having a really bad injury that resulted in me fracturing my index finger on my fretting hand. And the really sucky part is the surgeons informed me that they wouldn't be able to tell me for at least 3 weeks if I got an infection in the bone. And if I did, that unfortunately lead to them having to amputate my finger. Luckily, obviously, that didn't happen, or else we wouldn't be sitting here right now talking about the new EP. Because of all of that, I still had about 2 months worth of physical therapy I had to go through before I could pick my guitar back up. During that time, I had nothing I could do other than think about how I would want to finish the song, even though I couldn't actually work on it. Luckily, I was able to get through physical therapy and finish the song, but during all that time, it made me reflect on what I would want this song to be called, and that's why the song's title is Redemption, is because I felt I had redeemed myself after coming through such a traumatic experience that almost resulted in me losing a big part of who I identified myself as a musician for so many years of my life, and conquering it and coming out on the other side of all of this with, in my opinion, one of the best collections of songs this band has ever released.
With the catastrophic situation that had happened during the starting of the writing of this to the ending of the writing of this, it was devastating. When I was taking my parts to it, there was just a beauty, gorgeous flow that went with it. Just to have it turn around and really hit you when you weren't expecting. And then just to show beauty again through all the bad that has happened, got these beautiful silver linings that you can constantly turn to. Even though you're going to get hit again, you've got something to look forward to again.
Redemption. Now this song is a lot of fun to play. A lot of energy behind it. The first song we really worked on for this EP. So it's kind of hammered in a bit, so a lot of time to play it, a lot of long practice sessions of really getting into it. I think me and Steve probably battle a little bit on a couple of things. Who knows? We fight all the time. Fuck you, Steve.
Redemption. You'll hear me talk a lot about Steve because he's like one of my best friends in the band, and me and him butt heads the most, I think, out of anybody in the band. This song he brought to the table, and I wasn't actually so into it at first. It really did speak of all the different things that were kind of going on in my life. So while we were working on it, there was this feeling of, this has to somehow work out. Little known to like the rest of the world, Steve, right around this time, nearly lopped his finger off. Like straight cut it off. Like it was hanging from the bone. It was nasty. Couldn't look at it. Anyway, we didn't know whether or not he was going to be able to continue playing music with us. Brandon was no longer with us. He had already quit. And it was looking kind of bleak whether or not we were going to continue. When we sat quietly waiting to hear back from the doctors whether or not we were going to be able to play with our guitarist or if this was the end of what we were doing. Thankfully, the universe decided to be kind to Steven and allow him to keep his finger. So that particular song became Redemption because it was like, of all the things that could have been torn away from us, we get to keep this one thing still.